Have you ever looked at your life and realized it feels like a movie you've seen 1,000 times? You know the next scene, you know the dialogue, you know the ending, and yet you can't seem to change the script. You wake up with a quiet weight on your chest. It's not depression and it's not mere sadness, it's a haunting sense of stagnation. You feel stuck. But here is the terrifying part. There are no bars on your windows. There are no locks on your doors. No one is physically holding you back. This is the architecture of the invisible prison. Most of us spend our lives waiting for a sign, a permission slip, or a miracle to change our direction. We tell ourselves that next month or next year will be different. But the calendar turns and the room remains the same. Why? Because the walls aren't made of brick and mortar. They are made of habits, fears, and a silent agreement you made with yourself a long time ago. Think about the elephants in a circus. When they are calves, they are tied to a heavy iron stake with a thick chain. The baby elephant pulls and fights, but it cannot break free. Eventually, it stops trying. It accepts the boundary. Years later, that elephant is a 5-ton giant. The trainer replaces the iron chain with a thin, frayed rope tied to a wooden peg. The elephant could snap that rope with a flick of its tail. It could crush the peg with a single step. But it doesn't. Why? Because it no longer believes it can. The chain is no longer on its leg. The chain is in its mind. You are that giant. You have the power to dismantle your entire reality in a single afternoon. Yet you stand still because of a rope that was tied to you when you were too small to fight back. Today we are going to find the wooden peg you are still tied to. We are going to deconstruct the invisible chains that keep you from your own horizon. Let's talk about why change feels so physically painful. Your brain has a very simple principle. The known is safe. It doesn't care about your happiness, it cares about your survival. If you've survived that soul-crushing job for 5 years, your brain sees it as a safe zone. A new beginning is uncertainty. And to your primitive brain, uncertainty means danger. You aren't lazy. You are biologically programmed to prefer a familiar hell over an unfamiliar heaven. It's like the initial friction of a 100-ton train. The hardest part is the first move. This is called cognitive homeostasis. Your mind will manufacture brain fog and sudden doubts. The moment you try to step outside your comfort zone, it's not a sign that you should stop. It's a sign that your biological security system is trying to keep you in the cage. Imagine you are wearing a heavy winter coat that you bought when you were 10 years old. It's small, it's tight, and it hurts to move in it. But you refuse to take it off because it costs a lot of money, or it's the only coat I've ever had. That is how most people treat their identities. You are staying loyal to a version of yourself that no longer exists. You are staying in a career because you spent years studying for it, even though those years are a sunk cost compared to the 40 years of life you have left. Taking off that coat feels like a betrayal, but it's actually the only way to grow. Carl Jung called this the shadow. Everything you denied about yourself directs your life, and you call it fate. To change your life, you must first stop lying to yourself. Are you stuck because you can't leave, or because the cage is the only thing that makes you feel safe? In your suffering, imagine holding a flashlight very close to a wall. You see a tiny bright circle. Everything else is pitch black. That circle is your current obsession, the only choice you think you have. The moment you step back, the beam widens. Suddenly, you see the whole room. You see the doors and windows you never noticed before. Freedom isn't having 1,000 options. Freedom is no longer being a slave to the only option you think you have. Breaking these chains isn't about motivation. Motivation is a spark. You need a furnace. Simplify your life. Your mind is so cluttered with other people's opinions that there is no room for you. When the impulse to act hits, move before your brain can manufacture an excuse. There are no failures, only data. Fix the friction, don't blame the bridge. The sun will rise tomorrow whether you change or not. Time is the only resource that is strictly non-renewable. Every second you spend in that invisible cage is a second you are paying for with your life. The door was never locked. The rope tied to your leg is made of paper. The only thing keeping you stuck is the comfort of your own excuses. Wake up. Look at your hands. They are the tools of the architect. Stop surviving the script. Start writing the horizon. Axiora. The awakening continues.